on a game, so you don't know what the contents are. But here's the thing: we talked about this on Thursday when we were reading this Kotaku article. That you don't have to spend. First off, you could spend $2,000 and then just play through the whole game because apparently it's very short, and then request your money back. You could just do that, but you don't have to do that if you have one of the journalist accounts that Steam used to offer. They don't offer it as much anymore, but there are people of a certain era in games journalism that don't have to pay for games. I don't know. I think you can click a thing. I think you actually have to click a thing saying you don't want that to happen, but I don't believe devs by default do that because why wouldn't they want people to talk about their game unless they have a fundamental mistrust of games journalists, I guess. But also they don't really. That's a thing that you have to have. They're not doing new stuff for that. So. Anyway, we talked about this and how it was this weird game about a guy talking to himself in the past, trying to warn him about how about in the future the population was decimated because men are weak and women have become masculine. It was very low tier, really suspect nonsense men's rights bullshit. And how it was basically the main character is a lonely guy that doesn't have friends, and doesn't have any interest. Women don't have any interest in him, and how he needs to step up to make that to make things better for himself. That's basically the gist of this complete and utter nonsense video game, with a long opening scroll of text explaining the game that is unskippable. Anyway, the developer of The Hidden and the Unknown, I made sure I wasn't promoting any misogyny or transphobia. That's what they say. They put those words were in quotation marks. So make of that what you will, as they say that. Okay, we got to put this like this. Sorry, get some Lego here as we read this. As I read this, all that was necessary is to come up with. Oh, sorry. Just making up a sci-fi story that mentioned that there are only two genders that we can use for reproduction, which, as we all know, biologically present in all mammals, which is a way to. Okay, we're not gonna dive too deep into this person's nonsense. All that was necessary is to come up with a story of an alternate future in which we would come extinct because of the fact that we no longer reproduce sexually as we were designed to do by millions of years of evolution. Hey, I'm going to say right now, it is pleasantly surprising that this person believes in evolution. I'll be as generous as I can get in this conversation, but I will say, mildly surprising that this person at least is not questioning evolution. There is nothing controversial about the story itself. And it was just about a young boy trying to figure out his way of life. And since no one could play the game during the height of the hype, which is untrue, you just either have to spend $2,000 or have access to it. So that's just false, but that's the narrative, so we'll go with that. No one could check out if there was nothing crazy about it. This is what we call the perfect storm. Ooh. This was a perfect storm. So what did I manage to verify? Oh. It's almost as if this video game costing $2,000 was some sort of social experiment by a nonsense person. I think I might have been accurate in my reading of this on Thursday. Well, the media did indeed twist the story to their own agenda. which you can see here. I also sent the game to a woke, and they were linking to the Kotaku article about how the game is bad. I also sent the game to a woke Steam curator as a temperature check about 2 months before the release itself. After the curator did as I expected by posting a biased review, I was given a green light to continue with my plan. So if we dig into that for even a moment, basically, this was a gotcha. Now,